Hello, everybody. It's Bill. It's that college football guy. Here with another video. Time for the college football recap show. All the stuff the week that was in college football. As I've been doing my prediction videos, this is basically how I'm going to catch up on everything. This coming week is going to be the SEC. Very shortly, I'm going to be putting up the schedule on Twitter, on X, of how the videos are going to be doing. The link for my Twitter, my X will be in the description for this video. But right now, let's get into... sorry if I'm sounding a little off, but I'm sick. My butt's been kicked. Barely got out of bed yesterday. Yeah, it's not been fun. It has not been fun, but yeah, and I got to go all the way up to Boston starting the week. 2 days driving to get up there. Oh boy. But anyway, let's start with this. I'll start with part one here. We got here. Okay. First thing, everybody said, like, we've heard the Florida State Clemson lawsuit bit. We're going, everybody's covering this. I'm not one of the ones that is because I'm not doing it. We've seen, excuse me, people covering it, but supposedly Florida State is close to getting AAU status. I mean, okay, define close. Is it close like within the next 6 months or 2 years, or close as in sometime this millennium? Now, I've said this before, and a lot of people have said the fact, but Tony Petitti said it doesn't matter. They want to have schools in here. We need to get the best brands and everything else. Tony Petitti doesn't have a vote. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Look, Tony Petitti doesn't have a vote. Greg Sankey doesn't have a vote. Jim Phillips doesn't have a vote. Brett Yormark doesn't have a vote. Any conference commissioner does not have a vote. They can make a recommendation, but the presidents and chancellors are the ones who vote. They are the Roger Goodells of their respective conferences. They are the mouthpiece. The NFL owners decide what happens, not Roger Goodell. The university presidents decide what happens, not the conference commissioner. And everything says the fact that they want AAU. So is Clemson going to go to the Big Ten? No, they're not going to go. Did Florida State go? Yeah, if they get AAU, they could. But if Florida State's not AAU by the time this goes down, and we're talking, they said, oh, it'll be this year, next year. Like, I'm laughing every time I see this stuff. Like, oh, it's going to be, they're going to be leaving in June, or it's July, or it's August, or it's September, or it's this year, or it's next year. Eventually they're going to leave. Well, yeah, eventually they will. I mean, leaving this year, they're going to leave here. God. All right. Excuse me. But Florida State is not AAU at the time. They're going to want an AAU school to get in. Don't let Clemson going in the Big Ten. Not happening. Take that out. Oh, they're going to wait on Notre Dame. You plan on waiting until about 2050? No, you're not waiting that long. The Big Ten, I said, will expand. The top, I said this a while back, and I thought I was crazy, but the drop-dead point for most teams in the conference is 20. That's been the limit. And now it's going to the fact that they don't want to go any bigger than that, because logistically it creates a lot of problems. They're willing to go over 20 to 22 if the Big Ten is, if Notre Dame's part of the package. But Notre Dame's not coming, so who did Florida State take? Who goes Florida State? Oh, they're going to wait for Texas A&M. No. They're not doing Texas A&M either. There's a bunch of reasons on that one. The fact is, the Big Ten likes travel partners. Well, they got Rutgers and Maryland, yeah, who are each other's travel partners, plus they had Penn State. Oregon, Washington, travel partners. USC, UCLA, travel partners. Florida State, Texas A&M, now the one's a travel partner for the other. So that's not going to happen. So the only way this is going to work is Florida State needs a travel partner for itself. Well, that means basically leaves, and they want it to be AAU if Florida State is not. So, one thing that I've been hearing, excuse me, a lot of people I know is the fact that until North Carolina gets the whole North Carolina NC State, we're going together. No, we're not until they get the extricated from each other. They're not. Big Ten's not touching North Carolina. So that means that they have to pick somebody else. And that means AAU-wise, it's either Miami. They're not going to double dip in the state. Miami, sorry. Or the most likely candidate, which I've been saying for a while, Georgia Tech. Atlanta market is going on. Now, there's the rumors about ESPN restructuring the deal. That's exactly what it is, rumors, because I have not heard any clarification or validity on this one way or the other. So this is a wait-and-see moment, right? All right, next up on the list. Greg Sankey, SEC Commissioner. So the fact, they're not interested in Florida State and Clemson. Not in any schools. They don't want to shrink the pie. They don't want to add any schools. They're not going to add anybody. They're not going to. The way in Florida State and Clemson is they add value. I used to think they did, and now I've been talking to some people I know, and it's like they are at this point where they want to expand territory. They want to expand the geographic footprint of the SEC, but they don't want to get crazy. And the state they want the most is North Carolina. So the SEC is perfectly willing to sit and wait until the Tar Heels get their situation straightened out. Now, if they had to take NC State with North Carolina, would they take them? I honestly, I don't know. But I'm hearing the fact of the simple thing that the original targets, North Carolina and Virginia, they said, they're not good at football. You already have the dominant brands in football. What you need is to be able to create other revenue streams, able to expand your footprint, and basketball, which is another revenue stream. Virginia is very, very good at that. And the fact is, you need schools, cupcakes, to beat up on to improve the stats of your top schools. Big Ten figured this out. Why do you think Rutgers is there? Why do you think Rutgers is at the moment? Why do you think Northwestern's there? Vanderbilt's in the SEC. They have other value other than football, and they're going to stay there. They're going to cut schools. Knock it off. Just knock it off. It's not happening. All right. Now, comes to the big thing here. Like I said, North Carolina, Virginia to the SEC. That's going to be waiting on and see what happens with North Carolina. They're willing to sit and wait because they just picked up Oklahoma and Texas. They don't need to add if they don't want to. They have no reason to add. So we'll see about that. All right, now, we got a bunch of stuff here involving the Mountain West and the Pac-2, the Pac-12. First off, I don't know if I mentioned this before. If I have, I apologize. Blake Anderson was the head coach of Utah State, got fired. He's now suing Utah State. Nick Dreiling is now named the interim head coach. He is the former defensive coordinator in New Mexico State. Was hired by Blake Anderson to take over the defense. Now he's ended up taking over his job. He's suing for Blake Anderson suing for wrongful termination, or not wrongful termination, but he's suing to make sure he gets all of his money. He's not even fighting the termination. He wants to get paid. No new news on that. The one that surprised me is Jeff Tedford, head coach at Fresno State, just stepping down. But he has had health problems over the last few years, and this last one he had a heart-related incident scare in 2022? And apparently it started to come back. So it's like time to walk away. So Tim Skipper, who was the linebackers coach, is now going to be the interim head coach for this season. If actually when during the New Mexico Bowl, when Jeff Tedford was having problems, Tim Skipper was the head coach for the bowl game. So this isn't nothing new. It was only one game, but we're going to see how this goes. Peek around the corner. My man Greg Flugard put out a story that sources are telling him and his theater that the Mountain West Conference is going to dissolve and 9 schools are going to come in. And I'm like, again with this tired crap? It's not happening. Just... a lot of this is coming from people who are Pac-12 schools who, like I said, there's 5 stages of grief. And the Pac-12 is right now in the bargaining phase. The bargaining stage of grief. They think, okay, we can do this, we'll be back off and be doing... Eventually you get to the 5th stage, which is acceptance. The Pac-12 is gone. What it once was is gone. It's dead. It's on there. They have a chance to reborn it, make it reborn, and bring it back again. But it's never going to be what it once was. And they want to try to do that. It doesn't work that way. So, I don't know. All right. Now I guess the one here. Oregon State and Washington State. Rumors going around. A couple people. The Big 12's going to add them. The Big 12's going to do a scheduling agreement with Oregon State and Washington State for this coming season because they're not going to be around the lonely old Mountain West. The bargaining stage. Trying to say, we're going to get in the Big 12. Big 12 is not interested right now. 2031, when their contract is up and they can get full value, then they'll be interested. but not until then. I've been saying for a while is you absorb the entire Mountain West. Hold on, I'm looking at probably getting my head of myself. I have notes here. The scheduling alliance that I've heard about the Big 12, there's virtually no evidence of this whatsoever, any information other than the fact that people on Twitter on X saying it. But there was one statement made by Pac-12 Commissioner Teresa Gould that says that she has been working with Mountain West Conference Gloria Navarez, and they're liking what's going on, so much so that they're working on finalizing, like, the year one of the scheduling agreement between Oregon State, Washington State, and the Mountain West is this season. Well, they like where things are going. They're trying to finalize year two, which would be 2025 of this agreement. They want to get it finalized and done before kickoff, August 24th. They want to get year two done. So all those who are thinking the Big 12 is going to get a scheduling agreement, you get an agreement with the Mountain West, that kind of kills that idea, doesn't it? For those of you who can find the interview that Washington State President Kirk Schulz did with John Canzano, I encourage you to read it. He stated, and I did videos on this, the Big Mountain's done a lot of videos on this, that basically it's the fact that he stated the fact that when he wants to have the Pac-12 in a good place for the next 5+ years, that way the conference is stable for the next 5+ years before he retires. He wants the conference to be in a good place. As I've said before, merge with the Mountain West, absorb the entire conference in your own. As my washing machine goes off on me, I decided to do the little song and dance thing here going here. But go ahead and do all that. Merge in the conference. Get some Texas schools. I'd encourage, like Gloria Navarez, to push hard to get Texas schools, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. The Mountain West schools view Oregon State and Washington State as a couple of rentals. They're going to be around for 5 years and that's it. They're going to be gone. So you have to have your future set up. It says we are in the best place. Oregon State, we're in the best place. Do you have deals with CBS and Fox? No, you have a deal with Fox. That's good. But not with CBS. Do you have a deal you just did with TNT? No, you don't. They didn't get that because of your games. They're doing that because of Mountain West games. Oregon State and Washington State, the deals for football they have with the Mountain West, none of the games involve Oregon State and Washington State. As far as I know, and I look at the list, none of them are Oregon State, Washington State. So do with the Mountain West, it had nothing to do with you. They're making money and making avenues and making different sources of revenue because they want to try to be better. And that's what they should be doing, trying to be better. But, oh man. Like, look, Kirk Schulz said that he wanted to have the future finalized by February. The end of February, we're going to have it done. Because the ACC deal is going to be done in February. We'll find out about that. ESPN's looking. We'll find out by the end of the month what the hell's going on with that. March 1st, we're going to know. And he wants to have the Mountain West decision. They said, well, why are they waiting so long? They want to find out if the ACC's interested. And some people are mad about that. No, they should. Double check with the Big 12. Make sure they're not interested. Double check with the ACC. Make sure they're not interested. Go through and do your due diligence. Check everything because you have to. Your future's at stake here. You've got to check everything. Now, the Big 12, could they change their mind? It's possible. Not saying it's impossible. But most likely, no, they're not going to change their mind. And that leaves the ACC for a possible landing spot. And what I've been hearing from everybody else is the fact they're going out west for Cal and Stanford. They don't want to go out west anymore. They want to add more value if they add anybody at all. And it all depends on what's going on with ESPN. ESPN may say you may be asking them to add somebody if it means more revenue, but I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Oh man. So February is going to be a really big month in college football. You're going to have the ACC decision, the Pac-12 Mountain West decision in February. March 1st, it's going to be crazy. And the last but not least on my little thing here, I had somebody who mentioned to me, direct messaged me on Twitter, on X. The Big 12 is the true tuck stop conference. This has gotten old. Like, really old. I said, okay, I decided to go through and write down all of the schools that I went through the city of. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I did this, and then I also went through, was like, okay, my trucking career, counting boots on the ground, which is in the city that university was in. that their campus is in, that I've not, forget driving through it, boots hit the ground, that I either picked up a load from there or delivered a load from there, and a couple of times I've actually done it on campus. And which cities or universities have I not been to? And I realized the list is rather short. I thought it was a lot more until I went through all the lists. Because I have, I don't bring one with me, I have a little book for my job that I do for me, payroll issues. I write down job number, truck number, which my truck's the same, trailer number, where I picked the truck, where I picked the load up from, where it's delivered to, what day I loaded it, what day I delivered it, the mileage of how far it went, city to city. It's just city to city. So to know how far I've gone. And I went back and looked to realize I've been in a lot of places. Like this past week, counting all the cities I've driven through, this is driven through this past week. I'm talking about Tennessee, East Carolina, Appalachian State. Okay, first off, a lot of the stuff, North Carolina stuff, this is not going to be in order. North Carolina stuff, I had to go through here, do this trailer. It was a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving things happened in North Carolina. Same in West Virginia. Because I got redirected halfway up. But that was mainly because of road construction or accidents. But anyway, Tennessee, East Carolina, Appalachian State, Duke, Wake Forest, NC State, Middle Tennessee State, Vanderbilt, UAB, Georgia State, Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State, Western Kentucky, Kentucky, Marshall, West Virginia, Pitt, Akron, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and Louisville. If you pay attention to those schools, realize the fact that I have a school from every conference in FBS except for the Pac-12 and the Mountain West. The Truck Stop Conference is every conference. If you're a college football school, you are a truck stop school. Because there's mom and the Duke, went through Durham. And there's mom and pop truck stops. I've stopped there before. It's not be a chain, but there's still a truck stop. And as for, excuse me, everybody was going through, okay. Went through the list of the states like California, the conferences like the ACC. Everybody in the ACC, and that includes Cal and Stanford. I've done everybody in the ACC. I've done everybody in the Big Ten except for Washington. I haven't been up there. That's the only one I haven't been to. I had a load for the Oregon Duck fans out there. I had a load that was green plastic cups being delivered to a supplier to the stadium. I wonder what those were going to be used for. So, yeah. Apologize for the coughing, everybody. Like I said, I'm sick. Big 12. Everybody. SEC. Everybody. The American. Everybody except Army. Haven't been to West Point. The MAC. Conference USA. I look at the list. And I'm like, damn. Everybody. Mountain West. Everybody except Hawaii. And that's going to stay that way because you can't drive a truck to Honolulu. To Hawaii. So that's out. That's going to be a permanent out. Pac-12. Haven't been to Corvallis. Haven't been to Pullman. Well, that could change, but right now I haven't been there. And the Sun Belt, I've been to everybody. Every single one of them. So in the cities for every single college, except for Washington, Army, Hawaii, Oregon State, Washington State, those 5, I've hit everybody else in my trucking career. Every university is in a truck stop, has a truck stop, all of them. So for those of you who are on X, on Twitter, who came at me and said that Big 12 is the only one, I got news for you. Everyone is. No one's different. Let it go. Just let it go. Well, I've done enough babbling for this year, almost approaching 20 minutes. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up, helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think about all this, the SEC's decision, Florida State's, and then, of course, the Mountain West is Pac-12 are really gearing things up. There have been a lot of stuff happening there. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Share the video if you want to, and if you haven't done it already, if you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Those of you who already have, thank you very much for do so. But if you haven't subscribed, check out some of the other videos I've done. I made a playlist which has all the prediction videos in it. It's getting bigger as we go. And I'll be going back through that one later on. watch the championship game over and go back and rate myself on how well I did on my predictions at the end of the season. So we'll see about that. But like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to follow me on X, the link will be in the description. You can check that out. Like I said, I'll be recording next is going to be part 1 of the SEC prediction videos. That's going to be Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, and Florida. That'll be the first one. Getting my notes together and doing all these videos, and then I gotta, man, normally I get to work at like 6:30, 7 in the morning, my first day. I'm going to have to be at work at like 4:30 in the morning, behind the wheel of my truck, leave no later than 5:30 to make all this happen. This is going to be a long week. But up to Boston, not really Boston, it's I don't know if you've heard of Marlborough, Massachusetts. It's kind of between Worcester and Boston. 1,100 miles. It's a trip. So, yeah, that's what we do my weekend, doing videos from up there. I record the first one here, so I have a little bit of time here. If I have more time, I can do it. I have to take my medication here from the doctor pretty soon, which knocks me out. But I'm wanting to get these 2 videos in before I pass out. So, thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great Sunday. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.